Being a federal employee has some incredible benefits and perks, including an incredible retirement system, great benefits, but one benefit that many federal employees fail to realize, fail to use, fail to know about oftentimes is the public service loan forgiveness programs that you are eligible for as a federal employee. Now, not all student loans are eligible for these programs, but if yours are, they can be a huge perk by being a federal employee with the federal government. Now, to qualify for this program, there are a number of things that you have to do or have to be to make sure that you can really qualify for this program and get some of your loans forgiven. So the first thing is that you have to work for, be an employee of the federal, state, local government or a nonprofit. You have to be a full-time employee with those organizations. Sometimes their definition of full-time is not 40 hours a week and maybe a little less, but you have to be a full-time employee in their definition, whatever organization you are with. You have to have federal loans. They cannot be private loans. And there are a number of other things that you have to do when repaying these things, being in the right plans, blah, 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 which we're going to get into some of those details now. When it comes to repayment, you have to sign up for an income-driven repayment plan. There's a number of types of different types of income-driven repayment plans, but you have to sign up for one of them. And under that plan, you have to make 120 qualified payments. So basically one a month, that comes out to 10 years of qualified payments that you make in one of these income-driven repayment plans, and your loan balance will be forgiven. Now, it doesn't have to be 120 consecutive payments. Let's say you work for the federal government and then 5 years into this repayment plan, you go get a job on the private side, and then later you come back and do another 5 years with the federal government. That would count. Now, you can't miss any, let's say, during that time, but if you leave service for any reason, you can come back and pick up from where you left off. And now a huge perk of this forgiveness program is, unlike some other forgiveness programs on the private side, is that when your loans are forgiven, it is not counted as taxable income, which is a huge, huge perk. Some doctors, some people that have huge amounts of student loans, they do other private service loan forgiveness programs, but when those loans are forgiven, it is included in their taxable income. So let's say $200,000 of their loans were forgiven, they have to include $200,000 into their income, and that is not the case for the public service loan forgiveness programs. So count yourself lucky that you do not have to do that when you apply for this program. Now, it's also important to know that for some people, even if you do work for the federal government or a state, local, or a nonprofit, and you have federal student loans, this program may not make sense for you. I have known a couple of federal employees that their income is high enough where it really doesn't make sense, because based on one of these income-driven plans, their payment would be higher than they'd actually pay just paying off their loans not in the program. So you have to run the numbers for you and see if it makes sense. Sometimes when your income's too high, it wouldn't make sense, but if your income is lower generally and you have higher amounts of student loans, then the probability that this works for you is really higher. So make sure you look at it for yourself. I have an article accompanying this video, so make sure you look at that to kind of get some more nitty-gritty details of each requirement. Make sure you are eligible, and if you're eligible, to do all the proper steps to make sure you get into one of these repayment plans. And again, I do these videos not to give you every last detail about the subject, but to introduce you to the topic. And if it interests you, for you to go out, the web is incredible. It has incredible resources for you to go out and learn and apply the things to your life. My job is to introduce you to the topic, and if it interests you, for you then to take it and go the extra mile and apply it into your life. So I hope this is helpful and really does something for your financial future. And please, questions in the comments down below, and I will see you next week.